All praises to the Most High. Family, all praises to the Most High. Blessed be our Father, Yahuwah Elohim Almighty. Blessed be the Ruach HaKodesh and our Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach. Greetings, Yashar'al. Greetings, Yashar'al worldwide. I just have a few things I want to share, family. Some things on my mind. I have a few little clips I want to share with everybody. And I'm going to have a little something to say pertaining to each clip that I show. Okay? And some of this stuff is about, the Washington, D.C. celebration of the 4th of July and all of that, and some other stuff. Some stuff that's been going on. So I'm going to start out by showing you guys the clips. All right? And the first one will be this one here.
If you needed any more symbolism on where America is headed going into 250 years of this country, that video was the perfect resemblance. You see that flag falling down and spiraling? That's America to a fucking T.
You see, family, it couldn't have happened at a more sweeter time than the 4th of July celebration. And when I saw that first, family, it reminded me of a dream that I shared with you guys last year. I might have shared it again partly this year, but the dream that I had, it was about a year ago when I was mentioning that I was in a house one night with some of my siblings, and my brother William came inside, and he asked us, anybody got $10? And he was dealing with substance abuse, okay? He was about 2 years older than me. He passed away in 2014, so this is what I dreamed about a year ago. And so when he asked us that, we all looked around at each other and was kind of like thinking the same things, because, everybody knew that he was dealing with substance abuse, and we was thinking probably he's trying to ask us for some money to try to get something to get high off of. So nobody said nothing. And then he said, okay, that's all right. And he left back out of the door. And then I was having thoughts like, man, that's my brother, What is $10 to my brother? So I shot out the door behind him. And I ran to catch up with him because I saw him running in an open field in the night times. And as he was running, I was like, hold down, Chili Will. Hold down, I got the $10 for you, bruh. But he just kept running, like he was running full speed. And what landed ahead of him was this gigantic gold lion. Remember I told you guys about this dream? And so that's what this video I just showed remind me of. Okay, now the end of that dream was that my brother had gotten on the back of that lion. A huge gold lion just lit up the night around where it landed. And before I can get to him, the lion was taking off in the air real slow. And then it turned back to the way it came, which it was over the house where we was just chilling at, and went back that way. And I was looking like, what's going on? And then a Gentile man and a Gentile boy fell on the ground, and it fell really hard, and it wasn't moving. And I looked back up at the lion with my brother still on the back. The lion was climbing higher and higher in the sky, but it was flying at a relatively low speed. I'm like, what's going on? And then when I woke up, I said, Father, Yah, what was that all about? And immediately what hit me in my spirit was, Judah is rising again, and the Gentiles are coming down. That's what it reminded me of when I saw that guy coming down from that parachute with the American flag and crashing on that 4th of July party, to get together, whatever it was. But anyway, that's what it reminded me of. And so that's what I'm left thinking, Our Father is steady showing us, in ways after ways, that this Gentile system of Psalm 83 is coming down. And like the gathering that they were having, and speaking a lot of rhetoric and stuff, and then it started raining really, really hard. The wind started blowing hard, and then the people who was out there at that 4th of July celebration, the only shelter they could find was the Museum of African American History. You know what I'm saying? And they had to be in there for, quite some time, thousands of them, at least a couple thousands of them, I think. And so they had time to, look at what they were never taught in school about the history of Yashar'al in that museum. That Trump was trying to take certain things out. He's trying to take the things out the history of this country. But be that as it may, family, and then you hear people on video saying, yeah, Father God has a sense of humor, and he does, and some people may take something like that lightly, but like I say, family, in different messages that I share, everything about his creation is organized. Even the animals he creates, the insects, the birds, the galaxies, the stars, the planets, the sun, the moon, different parts of the earth. Like you can have angels over the grass, angels over the 4 winds that blow over the earth. That's north, south, east, and west. It's just not happening at random or, by chance. Angels are over that stuff. And so when this wind started blowing over their 4th of July get together, the angels of Yah was doing that. And the rain, he gives it to them to control all of that. Everything is in his control, but he is such a generous Elohim. He creates other beings just because he's full of love. You know what I'm saying? He's also, a Yah of judgment too. He's also, gets to the point where he gets tired of nations filling themselves up with sin, and the sins are going up to heaven where he's at. And he's also, a Yah who will bring wrath when he gets fed up, like he did with our ancestors and the nation of Israel and all our generations. You know what I'm saying? So he is love, but he can be, ticked off to the point where he's full of wrath. And when he, is angry at a nation or nations, it can last a long time. We've been under these people as the tail for a long time, for centuries, but his anger is directed toward the nations now. Please don't forget about those eclipses that came across the United States, one in 2017, another one in 2024, and they, that 400 years, that's a warning of danger, not just for this country, but you see the judgments of Yah are happening all over the world. You know what I'm saying? And the things that the angels are doing with the weather and the earthquakes and the storms and hail and sicknesses and disease and stuff like that. All of that stuff is being controlled by his mighty holy angels. That's right, family. And so, when this guy came down on the parachute with the American flag, and of all days and of all places it had to fall, was on the 4th of July celebration. And then the wind all of a sudden started whipping up, and the rain came down, and they had to close it down and run somewhere to, get in some shelter in an African American museum in Washington, D.C. You know what I'm saying? That was their shelter for that time, to put their attention on who they have been ignoring. The apple of his eye. He's trying to get their attention, to tell these people, these are my people. You know what I'm saying? He got us speaking boldly here and there around this country, and you got some of our people in England spreading the truth, and you know, different places in Central America, you know. So when he brings down the hammer against Psalm 83 nations, they won't have any excuse. They won't be able to say that they didn't know who his chosen people are, always have been. They just don't want to receive it. They don't want to recognize us. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to, you know, he got people speaking about us and about who we are in relations to him. He's our Father. He's the Elohim of Yashar'al. You know what I'm saying? And he's trying to give them a chance, you know, to recognize his people before he bring the total hammer down. Because Psalm 83, this whole, you know what I'm saying, and back to what somebody shared, this woman talking about, you know, we need to forgive our oppressors, and they haven't even asked us to forgive them. They haven't even acknowledged all the things that they have done to Yashar'al these centuries, reduced us to 3/5 of a human being, to chattel slavery, stole our lands. Have they talked about giving anything back that they've taken from us? And why do we have to apologize for people who've never even acknowledged the things they stole from us? You know what I'm saying? Identity, you know what I'm saying? Everything. So that's false information she's sharing. Scripture already says in many places, you know, what Yah is going to do to these nations. Isaiah chapter 60, verse 12, you know, and every nation that don't serve Yashar'al will be slaughtered. Those nations will be utterly wasted. It doesn't say anything in there pertaining to we, Yashar'al, need to accept and forgive the people who've oppressed our ancestors all the way up to they still lynching us now. I just saw a video recently, a few minutes ago, that they found another sister hung in Florida. They still lynching our people. Okay, now let me show you guys another video. Check this one out.
You will not believe this. Look. Freedom 250 salute to America attendees take shelter in the National Museum of African American History and Culture after the mall was evacuated ahead of severe weather. Hold on. Now, there's just so many metaphors, and there's so many. Black people always providing shelter, always providing a safe space, always doing the right thing. Imagine those little kids having to look at Black history like they never got in their private little schools. They ain't getting that kind of history in homeschooling. You think they're covering that? You think they're covering Black people in America as deeply and as thoroughly as that museum does? Ain't nobody covering that nowhere in their lives. Not church, not school, not homeschool, not nothing. That 1 hour they spent in there, they learned more about Black people than they have their entire lives. I'm talking about the adults.
You see what I'm saying, family? Yah is in control. You know what I'm saying? He's in control of the weather. He got his angels and, you know, moving all that around. And led those people right into that African American, you know, we know where Yashar'al, you know, the Black people, you know what I'm saying? But that's what they call us, African Americans. But I know this country, this land belongs to the 10 tribes of Yashar'al. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, so it's like he's trying to get the attention on the apple of his eye. You know what I'm saying? The people of the world ignore the most. Okay? So I got some else to share, family. Okay, here's another one. Check out what this guy said. One of them. Check out what he said.
All right, boys, masks off then. You can't say something with your full chest while covering your full face. You believe this so much, take the mask off and shout it from the rooftops, yeah? Isn't it your guy? Isn't it your people? Isn't it the nationalists, the white people that are running the show? Isn't it your people? And yet you're so angry. Have you considered why that is? Have you considered why you still think you need to reclaim a country that you run? It's because you're cowards. It's because you're small. It's because you're weak. It's because you're incapable of leading effectively, because you hate everyone that doesn't look and think exactly like you, and therein lies the rub. You will never be able to reclaim this nation because you're incapable of building one. You are so afraid to actually stand up for what you believe in that you think this is an act of patriotism, and yet you can't even show your face.
You see, family, you understand what's moving people like that? Like this dude said, they still are in control of the country, and they call themselves shouting out, reclaim America, but they still in control. But you know what it is? Like the book of Jubilees says, chapter 15, that Yah did not choose Esau and Ishmael because they are from Abraham, but all people are his, but he did not choose them. He did not cause them to approach him, but he chose Yashar'al. But for those other people, those other nations that he didn't choose, it says that he placed spirits in authority among them to lead them astray from him. Okay, so what's going on now that he is raising Yashar'al back up to the head? Okay, spiritually first. You see how people coming out with all this spiritual knowledge, okay? And he's raising us up. And on the other half, and on the other hand, what 83 is feeling, they're stressing out. And what the scripture says, that he did give Esau the sword. So that's all they know, is to want to try to lash out and fight. It's because, they're not living the American dream anymore. And it's stressing them out. And the only way they know how to express themselves is to hide their identity with anger. That is the sign of a coward. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're a man, you're going to be bold, and, and speak out of your mouth from the heart, with your identity showing to anybody who want to see you. You know what I'm saying? But a coward is going to hide. You know what I'm saying? But they are stressing out. They're stressing out. And as we feel that we are being raised back up, and we feel that Yah is bringing us together, and we have been awakened, and the totally opposite is happening to those who have been on top. They feel that something is going on, and it's not in their favor. And the way they respond is with anger. Reclaim America. Nobody never took it from you. Y'all stole it from our people. You know what I'm saying? You stole it from us. And see, everything is going to be returned. They're not going to give anything back to us. But our Father's going to send our Messiah back, and he's going to take everything from Psalm 83, all the world's nations. And it says in different scriptures that, they will bring their gold and their silver, because they're going to be so terrified of Yahushua HaMashiach, they're going to give Yashar'al everything. Everything. You know what I'm saying? See, when our Father sent our Messiah back, he's not coming back as the lamb, no more. He's not coming back as the lamb the second time. He did that the first time when he gave his life, shedded his blood for his people, so we can have a way to live eternally with him. Our sins are covered, okay? But when he comes again, he's coming back as the Lion of Judah. That's what that dream was about. That lion was flying with my brothers on the back of it. Yahushua Mashiach is the king. He's the Lion of Judah. He's from the tribe of Judah. He is the king of the world, the earth. And that's what he's going to reign and rule with a rod of iron over all nations. So that's what's starting to happen. You see that guy come down with the parachute with the American flag, crashed on the 4th of July celebration. All this stuff is just little bitty signs of him moving in the affairs of men in this earth, family. So don't miss it, okay? Don't miss it. Now, I got another clip to show you, family. Okay? Now check this one out. This is a brother up here in Minnesota. He's in Minneapolis, and I get him a little airplay sometime, But check it out. He's got a clip, you know, to show that Donald Trump is saying who built this country. And for the last little clip I showed pertaining to something like that, they didn't really, you know, give out the right, you know, amount of the video that I wanted to show. So I got a better one here. But then somebody made a comment under that video, you know, they're assuming that I'm a Trump fan just because I showed a little clip of what he had to say. No, you know, I am not a politician fan, whether Democrat or Republican or independent. I am neutral in politics. I don't vote for nobody no more. I'm done with that. You know what I'm saying? See, that's what this country is all about. Always trying to categorize its citizens in one thing or another. That's how they know what kind of box to put you in. But family, we won't allow them to put us in the little confines of their box. You know what I'm saying? So they could prejudge you, stereotype you. Once they got you in a Democratic box or Republican box, that's all they know is the political system in this wicked nation, founded on racism, bigotry, you know what I'm saying, and owning other human beings. That's what it was founded on, and that's what it always will be about. You see how they standing out to reclaim America. That's what the nation was founded on, with no Christian principles. But check out this brother, what he's showing right here. And it doesn't mean I'm a Donald Trump fan just cause I'm showing this little clip. But family, y'all already know that. Talking about them 83 people who may be watching and tuning in. Check it out.
It's built this nation.
Okay, now we gotta start that over.
The television, the telephone, the computer chip.
Now let's do it again.
Check it out. African Americans built this nation, invented the light bulb, the telegraph, the television, the telephone, the computer chip, the smartphone, the GPS, the integrated circuit, and even the internet. Basically, African Americans invented everything. What is left? We built this thing. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to you built the nation.
You see what I'm saying? For all you Haitians out there coming over here lying, talking about you built this nation. Now you need to go back to your island for all of you who think like that and build up those shacks that you got down there. Coming over here lying, you know, you're losing your TPS status and you lashing out at us. Yashar'al, the apple of Yah's eye. You know what I'm saying? Now have some backbone and stand up against the American government like our people did during the civil rights movement and everything else they shit on us about. You know what I'm saying? Have some backbone and take your argument and your discrepancies and your dissatisfaction in what they're doing, taking your TPS status, and stand up against the government who's taking it from you. And leave me and my people alone. Or just go back home where you came from. Okay, family, I got another little clip to show. Okay, now this one right here is something just happened more recent than anything else I just showed. Okay, family. Now, check this out. Dr. Rashad.
That team goes completely missing while hanging out with my friends. This was during the 4th of July celebration. We have questions. Put up the picture full mask. This is according to Atlanta Black Star. They did a great job reporting on this story. Authorities in Mississippi have now found a body after searching for a missing black teen who was last seen on the Gulf Coast with friends celebrating the 4th of July. While the identity of the body has not been officially confirmed, officials searching for the 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells, who was last seen around 3 p.m. on Horn Island near Ocean Springs wearing blue swim trunks, no shirt, and sunglasses. He's described as 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing 180 pounds. Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter told the Post that the body was found at about 8:45 a.m. Monday. And they quote, "It does match the description, according to the sheriff."
This is unacceptable. This is kind of what I was mentioning in that little short 4-minute and some video I recently did, but a lot of people just chose not to view it. But I was speaking about let's be vigilant, Yashar'al, because as Yah is raising us back up, we are awake now. We have our true identity. And on the other hand, 83 and Esau, these nations, they are feeling the total opposite of what we're feeling. We feel like we're coming into our time, which we are, at the power of our Father Yah in the Ruach HaKodesh. But on the other hand, those who have been in power and the head for all these centuries over us, oppressing us, they're feeling the total opposite. You know what I'm saying? So I mentioned in that little 4-minute and something video, Yashar'al, be vigilant, watch your backs. I just heard on another video, a sister in Florida was found hung. So these people, they're really bitter, and they're sad, and they're mad that they're not living the American dream anymore. So, they're sneaky. They're catching our people, isolated by themselves. That's why I was saying in the video, watch your back. I just stopped to do a little video as I was out doing my errands to take care of some business. I said, okay, Father, I got something on my heart I want to share with the people. And I wish the video could have been a little longer than, but I was on my way to take care of some business. But anyway, it was pertaining to something just like this. Watch your backs, because these people, you never can trust them. How can you trust the people who, they're the offspring of the people who stripped everything from our ancestors down to us? Okay, now, like I say, this is unacceptable. Back when I was coming up, used to hang around friends and stuff like that. My thing was that, we lead together, we coming back together. And whatever it takes, whether what kind of mission we was on, you dig, the kind of individual I was then and still am to this day. You know what I'm saying? We leaving together, we coming back together. You know what I'm saying? And I remember an incident happened with me and one of my close friends back in I think this was 1985. And he got caught up in something. And security, they kind of like handcuffed him, and they took him for a walk to talk to him, and I wasn't involved in it, but we came together, and so they didn't get done with him until 2.5 hours later. And when he came out and saw me, he said, man, dog, you been out here waiting on me all that time? I said, yeah. He said, why, man, I said, with me, dog, we came together, we lead together. You know what I'm saying? This incident right here, what happened to this 18-year-old dude down in Mississippi, friends wouldn't do that to a friend. I remember back in, in the 90s when I was working at this company. Ended up putting in 20 years there. But back in the 90s, when I was relatively a new employee there, I was real cool with this Gentile guy named Rick. And he, when I met him, he had me crying, laughing every day. You know what I'm saying? So I was a temp, and he was, working there permanent. And I wanted to work there because of him. He had me laughing every day. He's the craziest white dude I ever met in my life to this day. And I'm talking about, it's hard really for anybody to just make me laugh. My dad knew how to do it, and 2 of my brothers, that passed on now. But this Gentile dude, this white dude, Rick, he can make me laugh. This man was crazy, an Irish dude. And he said, so I ended up putting in an application, and they hired me after 3 weeks back then. It wasn't this 90-day wait stuff like they do nowadays, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I got hired, and me and him was working together. And so I can't remember how long we was working together, but he said this. He said, hey, G, you want to go hunting with me and some of my friends, you know, on the weekend. And I looked at him like this. I said, man, are you crazy? He said, what? I said, man, y'all, you and your white friends ain't gonna have me for target practice out there. And he bust out laughing so hard, he had tears in his eyes. I said, man, hey, I don't know your friends, and they don't know me. You know what I'm saying? But see, he laughed because he realized I wasn't as stupid as he thought I was. I said, no, man, no. You know what I'm saying? You know, no. It ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? We just co-workers, man. You know what I'm saying? But this, you know, I see, I have that spirit of discernment, and I can pick up vibes from people. You know what I'm saying? And I don't ever forget who I am in this world. You know what I'm saying? I mean, our track record with these people speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? But to let your guard down and, you know, ain't no way. All his friends okay, but he's not. He come up dead. That is unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? You got to know who you're dealing with, Yashar'al. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was saying in another video, be vigilant. You know, friends wouldn't do that to a friend, but sometimes people have a way of making you think that they are so cool with you, but all the time inside they can care jack about you. But you got to have that discernment. You know, you got to know. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody that smile in your face don't mean they're your friend, family. And y'all know this, Yashar'al. And it's just a sad thing. This young 18-year-old boy and his family just left without answers. You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, family, you know, please be on your P's and Q's. We are on the way up. We are on the rise, and Yah is doing this all. But still, He gives us all common sense, you know, and let's use it. Let's use our common sense. You know, we can't let our guard down. We are still in Esau 83's kingdom, and our Messiah is coming to take it down when he gets here. But it's still in place now, and there's still a lot of wicked people that he has placed spirits in authority among them that hates the apple of his eye. They hate his chosen seed. So we got to watch our backs, family. We got to be on our P's and Q's at all times. Okay? So that's what I want to share, family. So until next time, may Yah bless each and every last one of you, Yashar'al. My brothers and sisters in Yah, love each and every last one of you. Okay? One love and shalom.